Good morning, students. Previous class we were discussing the applications of Gauss law, the properties of Gauss law and the definition of Gauss law. Today we have discussed the applications of Gauss law. Before that, we start with the uses of Gauss law. Uses means significance or applications of Gauss law of electric charges or electric fields. What is the use of this Gauss law for the electric charges? Gauss law of electrostatics. Because we have the Gauss law for the magnetism, we have the Gauss law for gravitation also. So this is for electric charges. Electrostatics or electric charges, electric field in the term. Gauss law of electrostatics is used to find the electric fields near the charges, and to find the unknown charge. Unknown charge inside Gaussian surface. It is also used to find out the electric fluxes. It can be used to find electric flux. But finding this will be easy. Electric finding is easy with the object is symmetrical objects. So we just prefer symmetrical objects means sphere or cylinder like that. Irregular objects is difficult. So we go for the cylindrical shapes. Finding electric field with Gauss law is used easy for the symmetrical structures. And imaginary only. Gaussian symmetrical Gaussian surface we can say. Find electric fields with Gauss law. Is easy for symmetrical Gaussian surface. That is cylindrical or spherical surfaces. It will lead to the application side actually. Spherical surfaces. Those applications we have also. Use of Gauss law. And each application, whatever we have, is for 3 marks and very important marks. Applications of Gauss law in these electric charges. Of electrostatics. One is to find electric field. To find electric field near infinite long straight wire with the uniform charge distribution. You will not be asked for the listing I am giving you, but we are going to discuss these applications in detail. For those detailed application only will be asked. Derivations. Second one is this first one is linear distribution, means one long wire, infinite long wire you are making, under charges are there. Then you have to find out the electric field somewhere here, perpendicular to this wire, and this I want the electric field at distance equal to r. Then we have to take the help of Gauss law to find out the expression of electric field near infinite long wire at some distance. That is the first application. Second application is to find the electric field. To find electric field near infinite sheet. Infinite sheet. You make it as a plane sheet. Infinite plane sheet of charge with the uniform distribution. Or with the uniform distribution of charge. If you take a sheet, inanimate sheet, the surface is there, board surface. I put in the charge on it. The surface itself we call as a sheet of charges. You just imagine it, you forget it. This imagine the plate only. Charges on the plate only, all charges. So infinite sheet we are imagining. Plane, it's 2 dimensional. So one imaginary plane you have to imagine of all sides and different distances. On that we have what is charges. So it's not a metal sheet we can think. Even if you take metal also, on the surface of the charges resting, imagine only those charges layer on the surface. That is called as the infinite sheet of charge. So if you imagine plastic sheet, for plastic you forget, think of only the charges on the surface. And it uniform distribution. Uniform distribution of the charge distribution in the surfaces. And to find the electric field, that means I am taking a sheet, very big sheet I am taking like this. All sides infinity. Charges are there on the surface. I want a distance from r, whatever it is, I get some distance, what is the electric field? That calculation of the electric field on the sheet of charge. Derive the expression using Gauss law. Third one is to find electric field here uniformly charged in hollow metal sphere. On the metal sphere, automatically charges are uniformly distributed on the surface. But the application side we have is hollow sphere. So if you take a hollow sphere, thin hollow sphere, thin means thickness not considered. Thickness means inside radius, outside radius are the same. We take the thin surface. Thick surface means inside radius is different from outside radius. But even though derivation is there for hollow and thin only, same formula applicable solid sphere and also thick metal, thick sphere if you take also, result is same. But derivation we are going to do for thin hollow sphere according to textbook. These three applications we have. In this, what is the Gauss law we have is application side. These names will not be answered. We have separate application of this. Each one is for 3 marks questions. This one can be last one. Can be asked in 5 marks questions because the parts are there. 3 parts. And in this, what is the Gauss law we have is for the electric charges. We are going to make the approximations finding this Gauss law of electric charges or static charges. Electric field is formula I am writing again. Net flux is a net flux. Is nothing equal to 5 plus 40 plus 30. If many fluxes are there, you take the addition of all those fluxes, whatever it is possible. Find net flux is equals to Q inside or enclosed. Q inside by epsilon. If I take the vacuum into equal to closed integral E dot ds. This ds is a small area, which is nothing but equal to closed integral E into this ds area into cos theta. In this term, if theta is 90 degrees, means electric field is perpendicular. Cases we take up. If electric field is perpendicular to area vector ds bar, then theta is 90. When theta is 90, cos 90 is 0. When cos 90 is 0, the flux becomes equal to 0. And this flux is equals to 0. Net flux is 0. Right side part is 0 means net flux 0. If U inside is 0, there is no charge on it. Then also flux becomes equal to 0. Okay, that within that I am talking about the Gaussian surface. These are closed surface related to the Gaussian surface only, not outside the Gaussian. If Q equal to 0, then also you get flux equal to 0. And integration term, one more term we take here is integration closed integral ds equal to E, that is total area. Closed integral ds is equal to A, that is total area. These terms we are going to use in these applications. So when theta is 100 degrees between the electric field and area vector is perpendicular to the surface area. Integration of ds is closed integral ds itself becomes equal to total area. If it is a sphere, total area is 4 pi r square concept. So like that we take the conditions. Depending on the theta 180 means minus cos 180 is minus 1. So like that we get the application side, and this right side of the equation is 0 means left side of the equation supposed is 0. And if total charge inside the Gaussian surface is 0, then also net flux becomes equal to 0. So these conditions we are going to use for these derivations. First one is to find the electric field near uniformly charged infinite straight line. Electric field near uniformly charged infinite straight wire. This can be a wire or it can be a thread or string using Gauss. Using Gauss. So to find the electric field here uniformly charged infinite straight wire using Gauss law. Imagine a long infinite wire. Length is infinity, straight wire. Up to that infinity, this is infinity. Practically we don't go for infinity. What does it mean by infinity? Infinity is very long distance, we don't go for it. If you take electric wires or the electric poles, what we are seeing is only small length, but it is extending up to, the continuation will be there up to long distance, hundreds of kilometers might be there up to the power stations and extending to other houses. The what we are seeing only small portion of it. So we make that is going to the long distance, very long. How much long means when you consider infinity is the practical. The length of the wire what we are considering is very large compared to the distance. The distance you are measuring is say from the wire only some centimeters you are taking, but this is some hundreds of 100 meters there. So this compared to these hundreds of meters, this distance from the wire is very negligible. Then we say simply it's a long wire and called as infinite wire. Practically we don't go for infinity. Theoretically we think that infinity. Infinity is very large distance compared to the partial distance you are considering for the calculations. Okay. But just for practical purpose we take a little bigger. So I want electric field from this wire. This wire is having the charges, called charges on the surface. It is having only called charges. So it's a wire. Okay, one dimension. So what it takes is linear charge density. So linear charge density means what? Lambda is equal to charge per unit length is called linear charges. Charges are everywhere. Up to long distance, up to infinity charges are there. Okay. Up to infinity charges are there. But I want to consider only at some distance of the wire, only for the small portion. I want electric field at this place. At distance equal to r, proper distance r from the wire. Then what you have to do is you construct a cylinder with the same radius. Here, wire should be a concentric. For diagram purpose, but not actually compulsory. Theoretically. Imagine a cylindrical surface around this wire as a concentric cylindrical surface. Concentric means same center. So along this diameter, this charges are there outside the cylinder also. Then what is the cylindrical surface? What becomes is, we call it the Gaussian surface. We imagine a Gaussian surface. This is a wire extending. So I am imagining around this one cylindrical surface. Okay, the cylindrical surface length is L, this part, and this becomes equal to radius. Okay, it is a circular cross section like this. You see. Okay, this area becomes equal to pi r square. This area also becomes equal to pi r square, and length is L, and charge inside this length only is infinite taking length you are taking means what? Charge will be infinity. We are not taking all that. We are taking only small portion of the cylindrical imagination. In that cylinder only, cylinder of length L, what is the charge present? That is Q. Okay, outside the cylindrical portion, we are not considering the charges. So in this cylindrical portion, this cylindrical surface, what we are imagining, we call it as a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface. Okay, and the cylindrical radius is R, length is L. Okay, then what about the electric field direction? Electric field is perpendicular surface. One point is electric field is perpendicular surface. Electric field is directed away from positive charge and directed towards a negative charge. Here the positive charge is there. So electric field must be perpendicular to the wire. It should be like this. So what you get here is electric field at this point. If I take a small portion ds, I will take here, and electric field is in this direction. That is the direction of electric field. And unit vector in the direction is also same direction. This is area vector. Area vector. Unit vector in the direction of area vector is nothing but equal to n cap is also in the same direction. This is a radius vector, and area vector is also in the same direction. So what happens? The beta becomes equal to 0 between the area and the electric field. Area also perpendicular surface. Area to Gaussian surface of the electric field is perpendicular to wire. One thing. Second thing is, now I am applying the Gauss law for the Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface is cylindrical surface like this. So at any point you take a small ds here. If integration ds, you take the total surface here. Okay, but what about the electric field here? Here electric field is also this direction only. This is also the direction of electric field. But area vector is for this side. Circular cross section area is this side vector. So this area vector is this side. And here area vector is right side. The direction of area vector. Careful with these terms. So area vectors, we have the three areas we consider. One area is circular one, this one, and this is 2, and this is 3. Three areas we are doing. Careful with the diagram, you don't miss any points. Imagine a infinite long wire, straight wire, with uniform distribution of the charge, and with uniform and charge density. Linear charge density lambda is equals to Q by L. That means for this length, this much. Next, same length if you are taken, again you got same charge length. Again same length, same charge. After infinity can inside both sides. Okay, next. Construct a concentric Gaussian surface, cylindrical Gaussian surface around the wire. Concentric is same center, automatically. And the cylinder length is L, and radius becomes equal to R. The R is also the distance from the wire where you are finding the electric field. Okay, and I will write the points. Next is the area vectors. Area vectors for the curved surface, cylindrical curved surface is normal to the surface and in the direction of electric field. But for the surfaces 1 and 2, circular surface 1 and 2, electric field is perpendicular to the area vector. Theta is 90 degrees here. Electric field that like this, area vector is like this 90 degrees. Here also electric field is this side and area vector is this side. Theta is 90 degrees. Cos 90 is 0. So right side part of the equation becomes equal to 0, means flux is not considered for the circular cross sections, but you need to consider only for cylindrical cross sections. You are taking only one side. But actually cylinder is there everywhere means you have to take the integration of ds. It becomes equal to total surface area of the cylindrical portion. So we don't consider these surfaces. We consider only this one. Okay, for the derivation topics. Points of this right. Consider Gaussian surface. This is cylindrical surface. Once again, these are the points, heading better, and sub points. Consider infinite, straight, infinite length, straight wire, or straight wire of infinite length. Okay? Infinite length straight wire with the uniform charge distribution. I am giving the for derivation purpose. I am taking the positive charge. It's not compulsory. What makes the difference? Positive charge means negative charge. Negative charge means 2 volts. That is the only difference. That point positive I mentioned because drawing diagrams and visibility is clear with the positives. Minus means we don't know whether it is because of dash line or because of negative charges. So to avoid the confusion, we generally take the positive charges, but not compulsory. With uniformly charge distribution as a figure, we are taking it as positive charge. Only in this example, not compulsory. Let E is electric field. Electric field at perpendicular distance R at perpendicular distance R from Y. Next is linear charges. If Q is the charge in length L of Y, then linear charge density is lambda equal to Q by charge per unit is what is the linear charge density. We are taking this is equals to uniform distribution, that means this is supposed to be constant. Next we take a construction of the cylinder, that is Gaussian surface. A concentric cylindrical Gaussian surface is constructed around the wire as a figure. A cylindrical Gaussian surface. A cylindrical, but it is concentric. I'm mentioning is not compulsory. As in figure, if you automatically I will talk. A cylindrical concentric Gaussian surface is of radius r, length here is constructed around the wire as a figure. Mentioning sentence on this is not compulsory point. You can directly go. Sentence if you are having a problem, they directly can go for lambda form. Linear charge density. This is what you are trying, and this you are trying. Then you can take the diagram and the Gaussian surface, and then directly go for the other points, applications, there are equations you can do. This point should be mentioned, and next directly you go for the fourth point if you are unable to write the sentences. Very good students. So the what you are taking is construct a cylindrical concentric means same center. Gaussian surface of radius r. That means why you are taking radius r? You are imagine that electric field is a distance equal to r only. Whatever distance you are taking, same distance you have to take it as a radius. So it is only imaginary surface, Gaussian surface. Radius r and length L is constructed around the wire as a figure. Okay. And we consider the three parts. This is divided into three surfaces. One is circular surface 1, circular surface 2, and curved surface. Relative curved surface is 3. So we take the three parts. For the curved surfaces, for the circular surfaces 1 and 2, theta is 90. So flux may not be considered. Only we take for the curved surface, which is cylindrical surface 3 only. From Gauss law, or the Gauss law is relative charges net flux is nothing but equal to flux, net flux equals to phi 1 plus phi 2 plus phi 3 for 3 surfaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and next as in figure again. For the surfaces 1 and 2, for the surface 1 and 2, and one more part is also this flux from also flux names. The formula what I have is Q inside by epsilon naught is also equal to closed integral E ds into cos theta, directly equal to cos theta. ds into cos theta. Theta is the angle between electric field and area vectors. So for the surfaces 1 and 2, surface 1 and 2, theta is 90 degrees. Because the electric field is perpendicular to the surface. Therefore, theta is 90 degrees. And this curve becomes equal to 0. So flux linearity considered. For surfaces, electric fields. For surfaces, circular surface vector. For circular surfaces 1, 2 area ds is perpendicular to electric fields. Therefore theta equal to 90 degrees times flux phi 1 equal to 0.